What's up guys, Michael23B here, and today I actually have a new device to show you called a parallel serial transceiver. Now it's actually quite similar to my last transceiver in the fact that I have 4 bits here that I can send back and forth between this transceiver and that transceiver, but the way it's different is I actually have button inputs here to put in the data, and I also have 2 tripwire lines here, less the name parallel. So I'm actually sending half the data over one of these lines, and I'm sending the other half of the data over one of these lines, thus sending the data actually twice as fast. So when I'm sending the data, I am actually sending one bit over this tripwire line, as you can see here, and I'm sending the other bit over this tripwire line, and each bit actually alternates until all the data gets sent. So before I go any further, let's show you a demonstration. So I can put in data here, and let me go ahead and send it. So we should get 1011, and it shows up right there, 1011. Now let's go over here, and I can actually, this is the received data, but I can actually change it now to whatever I want. So let's just change it to 0110, and I'm going to send that over. And that board actually gets cleared, and a second later we get 0110. And this works for any combination that you want, and you can even forward the same data back. So we've actually got 0110 on both boards, but if I wanted to clear this one off, I could by hitting those buttons. And this data, even though it's received, it's something I can send right back. In other words, kind of forwarding the data back to another transceiver. And there we go. Alright, now let's get into the technical stuff a bit. Because I am using buttons down here instead of levers, I am actually having to use a monostable circuit to send a short pulse through to this piston, and when I hit that button, it tells this piston to leave this redstone block out here, and when I hit the button again, it retracts it, telling it to leave it back here. Now what these redstone blocks do is it actually tells these hoppers whether they can stay locked or whether they're able to be unlocked by this redstone line. And when those hoppers change states between locked and unlocked, it sends a pulse through the observer, and when it sends that pulse, that indicates a bit that is 1. And if it doesn't send a pulse, meaning the hopper did not change locked or unlocked states, that indicates a 0. And when that gets pushed out to here, these pulses push out these armor stands, pushing them into the tripwire, and the parallel line, the second line, also gets a pulse. Now the sending part is actually quite simple. When I hit the send button over here, it tells this torch to deactivate, and that's this whole line deactivate, and that allows the hoppers to change states. And we also have a comparator clock over here, leaving this torch deactivated until all the data gets sent through. So that is the sending portion of the transceiver. Oops, I just changed that here. Now let's get down to here, and the receiving portion is actually a bit more complicated. So it's a bit messy, but we have our line coming from this tripwire, sending a pulse down to here, and we also have a line coming from this tripwire up here, down to here. It comes into the same line. Now when we're receiving a signal, it's actually quite similar to the last transceiver in that we have this line of redstone repeaters sending the pulses through, and when we send a signal from the other transceiver, we're actually sending the wake up bit, and we're sending 4 bits after that. And when we get the wake up bit, it pushes this redstone block out, and it locks the signals into all 4 of these repeaters. Now when we get those signals locked into these repeaters, that is our data confirmed, and when we get that data confirmed in these repeaters, we are actually sending a pulse through. We have actually a AND gate here, and what this AND gate does is when that redstone block gets pushed out, that one deactivates, and if our other locked repeaters are sending a pulse through to these blocks, then one of these torches will get deactivated as well. And if the AND gate right here is confirmed, then it will send a pulse up through and activate this monostable circuit, telling this piston to push out and send a 1 to the display. Now hopefully that isn't too confusing. I just have one more portion of the device to explain, and that is the clearing portion. Now it happens when we get a new signal coming in from the other transceiver, I'm actually sending a pulse through to this line. And what this line does is it sends a 2-pulse redstone signal through to all of these redstone torches. And what that does is it goes up to these pistons and it tells all of the redstone blocks to retract. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. So I can show a demonstration right here if I wanted. So all these pistons should push out and then pull back in, and that makes sure that all the redstone blocks get retracted. So you can see that, and that is my clearing portion. So hopefully you understood all that. It is pretty compact. It is more compact than my last version. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.